Hello everyone and welcome to LSI F1 EU F4. Hello, hold on a minute. Hello everyone and welcome to LSI F1.5 Championship. We're today for the EU Championship and the Brazilian Grand Prix round 14 of the calendar. We're a couple minutes into quali, so I really do apologise for the delay. I was on time until I wasn't. So yeah, we're not going to be able to get the early stages of quali in. But as of now, 7.289 is the current pole time. But I presume we've got Fico and P2, Robbo. Gilly's retired already with a 7.992, and that was in the pit lane. So they've decided that is it for them, and they will not be able to improve. That's Dave Raptors going up to P3. So very, very good job from him. We've still got time left in this session to improve even more. But as of now, that is the grid. Zingy, what do you think the strategy is going to be today? Oh yeah, I forgot. Zingy's not here. Sorry about that. Zingy's not here today, so it's just going to be me. That is, well, maybe to your guys' disappointment, but to my delight, you know. I'm joking. Bassoon sits on the top at the moment, as they have done so many occasions. Will they be able to hold on to that pole position? Lots of drivers have already been out for their runs, and they're already over the 1 lap limit on their tyre, which you're not really going to be able to improve much on. Mikash, I don't know if they're going out again to try and improve. We're going to watch on board and see, but energy-wise, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to improve, so that's probably going to be it. We've got Rexty on an outlap. Some other drivers, I'm sure, will be on their way out very, very soon, but you might want to time it a little bit later. They might want to back out and go a little bit later, because we haven't got that long left on the clock, although it's a very, very short lap time here at Sao Paulo, so you would be able to probably get 2 laps in from now if you wanted to try. But some drivers might not want to use that extra set of tyres throughout, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Rexty in P10. Both McLaren drivers on the grid, so lovely to see them. Let's hope that they can get some good points. They had some very good racing with Waldo before. Rexty, he's had some pretty hard times in the past. He's been very, very good on opening laps, but just struggled since that opening stage, basically. But I think that's only a temporary thing. He can definitely be up there and improve. Now, we're on the quali laps at the moment. We're on an outlet of Rexty. I want to note, it's very hard to get your tyres warmed up in quali around this circuit. It's very, very difficult to do so. So some drivers will be really aggressive, and that can create a lot of traffic around this circuit. It's just how it goes, unfortunately. Right now, of course, no one's on the track, so Rexty is going to be absolutely fine. He's going to be loving this, but we've got some other drivers who will be making their way onto the circuit within a couple laps, and they're not going to be loving it as much. Is that a mistake there for Rexty, or did we just watch him do a lap just before, and this is his in-lap? I don't know. It's said that he was on an outlap for a while, so I thought that's why, but maybe not. Maybe that's a bra moment from me. We do have Bassoon, who is going to be on his way to set his probably final lap of the session. He's come out a little bit late to set 2, so that's probably going to be it for him. And Neferjan, of course, disqualifying themselves, as they are a higher tier driver, starting at the very, very back of the grid, even behind Igapro, who is also a higher tier driver. Alright, let's watch on board and see what we can do. He doesn't have his sparring partner Cohen for pole position this time. He does have a pretty competitive grid behind him. They do have a lot to gain, though, if they want to try and challenge for pole position. He opens up the lap, lovely stuff, a very nice exit, and to be honest, the run to the line right here around this circuit is very, very long, so you don't actually need to be too worried about that exit. Everything helps, of course. You want to go wide on entry to keep that straight line speed up. Braking hard as you go downhill against the camber. It's very difficult to get right, but you need to touch the curbs. They do so. Loss of traction on turn 2, but nothing that was enough to cause them a real big problem. Turn 3, they didn't hold it to the left as much as I would have liked to, but still, it's pretty quick, and they're quicker than me anyway. Riding that inside and outside curve, using everything they can to maximise the track and minimize track distance, of course. through 6 and 7. Very difficult to get right. You can easily lose the rear, but they do not seem to be worried, and they've unfortunately cut turn 8, which is extremely easy to do, and that is going to beat them having to wait a little bit longer. They're going to have to do a full cooldown lap and then go out again. They've got a car who they're just having to move out of the way of, which is pretty tricky, and that is the nature of the circuit, as I mentioned earlier on. It's very, very easy to get tangled up. That is one of the Red Bulls going across the line. What's it going to be for Mikash? No, he's going to be starting a lap, actually. He's going to be starting this lap. No, it said an improvement lap. I don't know. Was that an improvement lap? I can't quite remember. All right, well, looking at the ERS, he could be going for another lap right here, so he's probably going for one. Right now, we've got other drivers also on laps as well. We're going to stay on board with Mikash to see what he can do, though, in this session. Alrighty, sorry for the delay. Lots of drivers on their way out now, and it does get very, very difficult traffic-wise. You can see lots of cars in that middle sector. It's easy to get caught up. 2 drivers not in the session, so they're not going to be out on track anytime soon. The rest of the field are either on track, or one car, which is Igapro in the pit lane. He doesn't need to be out on track because he's a higher tier driver anyway. Mikash is going to come around the final corner, and what's it going to be for them? Holding it hard to the left-hand side, using everything they've got left in that car. And that is a 2/10 improvement up to P6. Not enough to get to Gilly, but a very, very good effort for sure. Will he be able to hold on to that position? That is the question. Is that Waldo or Rexty? No, Waldo. He will not be able to improve. That's going to be it for him. Another driver. That's Bassoon going around again to start their final lap of the session. Let's see what they can do. They've actually got only about 50% battery, so it's not looking ideal. They could be in trouble from the other cars around them if they're not careful. We've got Dave Raptors, who I believe is opening up their final lap because they went pretty wide on entry, so that is going to be all good for them. No worries at all. That will be Lark going to cross the line very shortly. I do apologise for the lag once again. That is just how the game is at the moment, and it's not what we want to see, but it is what it is. Let's watch on board with FICO. We've got a couple of drivers in front of him. The 2 Red Bulls will be crossing the line at some point. That's a purple middle sector and a 2/10 improvement. 2/10 wouldn't actually be enough to get them pole position. It would definitely bring them closer, but around the final sector, it's not where you can really gain too much time, but it's not impossible across the line, and it is going to be a 7.3, a brilliant effort there from FICO. It will not be enough in the end. Dave Raptors is invalidated. Robbo, is he going to be able to challenge here for pole position at Brazil, round the final major corner? And that is going to be just waiting. There's a car that's retired on the straight, which is very distracting. He will not go for pole position. That is a P3 in the end. A very, very good effort to improve. That is it. That's qualifying over. Dave Raptors will not improve. And Passoon takes pole position for Brazil. Another pole position. Let's see if he can secure another good start. Will it be enough for him to hold on? That was a very interesting moment in qualifying, which will be noted, but I'm not sure if there's too much we can actually do with that one, of course. Now, that sets the grid for the sprint race. And, of course, the sprint race is where you get a couple points, but you just need to really try and be careful and make sure that you gain positions ready for the main race. That's the key thing to note around this circuit. No, this structure of event, of course. Passoon takes pole position, Vico in P2, and then Robbo sits in P3. This is the rest of the grid. And then we're going to skim through the race director just in case, as always. And then we will be back for the sprint race. We will see you in a minute. Ready? Hold! Go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? A slight delay and we're finally away. Perfect start from FICO. Will he be able to challenge in the second phase? Oh no, he will not. The McLarens are moving across the track behind. Can't find anything. That's side by side with Robbo. Robbo gets through. A perfect start from him. No cars off in the background just yet, but that is very, very close margins between a lot of drivers. Bassoon gets away perfectly. The two McLarens are side by side into the braking zone. Turn four. Who's going to get it? There's almost contact. He loses the rear. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. The Ferrari is close to contact. Lots of cars swarming him. He's actually at the back of the grid. Bassoon doesn't matter. Bassoon doesn't worry about any of that. Robbo still sitting in P2 and getting a brilliant start off the line. FICO struggling. Couldn't quite find the grip. And yeah, didn't really have an answer to that one. Dave Raptor stays where he is. And Mr. Grajak into P5. Brilliant job from him staying there right with the pack as we saw in previous races. Let's hope that he can hold it. Little Waldo right there. And Nifojan all the way up the order. Egopro's had an issue unfortunately at turn 11, which is not going to be ideal for them. It's a very difficult corner, that one, of course. That is JJ and Mika switching positions as we got a very, 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 very close moment. I don't know who's going to be ahead. The camera kind of goes in an awkward position. That's JJ backing off. He's not willing to make it 3 wide. It's now going to be him versus Mikash. Mikash is kind of at the back foot at the moment, not able to get the benefit. That is JJ staying in front. A brilliant job from him. Oh, Mikash is looking like they were having a little bit of a look at closing in and going for the move immediately again, but no, they decide not to. They decide to keep it civil for the moment. Lap 2 out of 12. We still got a long way to go in this sprint race. It is a sprint race, but DRS isn't available, and that's where everybody is going to be waiting to use all their energy and absolutely gun it. Bassoon, he leads the way by 7 tenths, but it's not exactly a massive gap because Robbo's still going to get DRS from this, and he is going to get DRS on this next lap. Only once, but he will still get it. Brilliant effort from him so far. But Robbo, he's going to be the first one to threat. FICO is going to be there, but of course that double DRS is definitely going to make it difficult because you just get it cancelled out. It's not double DRS, it's just kind of like a DRS train. That's the better terminology. Nifojan sat right behind Waldo. Would he want to consider making an overtake? I think he will want to consider it. He wants to get through the grid as quick as he possibly can. Waldo forcing him hard to the inside line. It wouldn't matter anyway. It's not going to make a difference in the end for him. Everybody else just kind of in single file at the moment. No real changes being made at this stage. Bassoon manages to escape about a tenth, and there's also about 8 tenths between Robbo and FICO, so there is a bit of a gap forming between the front runners, which it's not a bad thing for Bassoon, but it's not an ideal thing for racing, of course. He might be trying to break away before Robbo gets any chance at really having a look at making a move. He doesn't do enough to get away from DRS. It's so close. 998, 2 thousandths away of breaking away from DRS, but Robbo has got it, and Bassoon, more importantly, has got a flashing light on the back of his car, whereas Robbo does not. So Robbo is going to be loving that. Look at that, 4 tenths on that straight. That DRS is powerful on the start-finish straight. Absolutely insane. Very difficult to fight, especially when you've got no battery. Robbo also low on the battery as well, so they're just kind of stuck in their positions at the moment. FICO and Dave Raptors are going to be able to catch up a little bit possibly as well. That's Nifojan and Grajak. That was a yellow. I don't know who it was for. There was maybe a little bit of an issue for somebody. I can't quite remember, but yeah, Larlik, I think. He's dropped back a little bit from the pack. We have this little train, Gilly, JJ and Mika, just kind of sitting where they are, of course. Nothing's going to really happen at the moment because that train is a train. It's so difficult to actually overtake at. This one, though, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Lots of drivers very low on the battery. That's Robbo, Bassoon and Dave Raptors all really low on the battery, whereas you do see FICO with a lot more energy to spare, so he could come back later on in this race if he uses that energy wisely. Robbo, he catches up, and he's going to be looking to try and set a move up as we get towards turn 4. Is this his first major opportunity? Would he even want to go for the overtake here? On lap 5, he went for the overtake on Cohen on lap 5 in Great Britain. It didn't go to plan. He's not going to go for an overtake on lap 5 this time around. He will sit behind. He knows that there's a little bit of a long game involved in a sprint race rather than just trying to gun it immediately, because although it is a shorter distance race, there's still plenty of laps to go. That's Mikash looking so close to the back of JJ. He's just not close enough to actually make any kind of overtake or even put the pressure on. But yeah, it's definitely not helping Mikash by being in that DRS training. Actually, Waldo now has given DRS to Gilly, so Gilly's going to be loving this. He does still need to push a little bit harder if he wants to get that DRS, but it's not looking absolutely terrible for him. So he might have a look at making some sort of move within the next few laps. We're going to head on to lap 6 now. Pursuit still leads the way with hardly any battery. Robbo doesn't have too much at the moment, but he knows with that DRS, he's able to relax a little bit and stay where he is. That's what I was trying to imply on the last lap. He's able to just kind of gather his thoughts, make sure that he manages his whole race overall, ERS, tyres, everything he possibly can, even your own energy of your mind and everything, to try and make sure that you just relax, and then he'll go for a probably a mega send on the final couple of laps. Vico sitting in P2. He's only 5/10 behind. He's not that far away. And as of what we saw earlier on, he doesn't have a flashing light on his car now, but he had a lot of energy not too long ago. Dave Raptors in P4. I don't know about his energy situation. Alrighty, so once again, we do have that grid kind of bunched up a little bit. Waldo just doesn't seem to have the ability to catch up to the cars ahead, which is Grosjean, of course. Gilly will have a possible opportunity at making an overtake. That's if they're able to execute it. The top runners, they're not going to be making overtakes anytime soon. We will keep a close eye on them, just in case, of course, but right now it looks all fine. Gilly's not going to be close enough to actually make an overtake. He's just going to sit there behind still. Once again, no pressure involved. He's just waiting as well. Not really got too much energy to deploy. JJ behind, he's got a little bit more to use, so he could be good to go. But Mikash flashing on the ERS, staying with these cars, but of course with that double DRS, it does make it slightly difficult to hold on in a straight line. But it makes you work hard for it, and if you do get a good result, you're going to be rewarded very, very nicely. Currently, the last person to score a point in the F1.5 EU Championship would be JJ, because Nifo's a higher tier driver. That promotes the other guys in front a little bit, of course. So JJ finishing in 8th place would get 1 point. You only get points for the top 8. Robbo, he's not that close, but it doesn't really matter. Like we've seen so many times, he's just making sure that he maintains himself, slowly builds himself back up, and then looks for an overtake. Vico isn't that far away, and neither is Dave Raptors, to be honest. So if Robbo and Vico, if Dave Raptors and Vico do spot an opportunity to go for an overtake whilst Robbo tries to push for Pursoon, then they will be able to possibly take some pickings away, of course. That is something to look at later on. But Pursoon, maybe he has something else in the bag. Maybe he can push away a little bit later on. Maybe he's got that time management that we're all looking for, of course. It's possible he might be able to hold on to this. It's never say never, but the situation that we can see it right now, it's not in his favour. That DRS should be pretty powerful around a circuit like this. Unless you really get it right, then track position could be considered the benefit. Robbo is nice and close. He's not close enough to really make an overtake, though. He is still just sat behind, relaxing. Bit of a touch of the grass from Pursoon, I think that was. Nothing too much to worry about. That's Nifojan, unfortunately, taking it for a quick spin. as he does drop down the order. No overtake from these guys, but Robbo's going to go through as Pursuit makes a mistake. I did not believe it. Lost it at turn 2, and FICO is going to swoop through as well. He has the momentum. He has the energy. He is going to take that position. I do not believe it. Pursuit's now released and using all the energy to get past was FICO. So now Robbo leads the way. He's in clean air for the first time. Will he be able to unleash anything, or will FICO be able to hold on and keep this race alive? I do not know, but that was not expected at all. I did not see that coming, but heartbreak for Pursuit losing that. He's still in this race though. He is still in this race. He's got to try everything though to try and catch back up. To be honest, he's only lost 2 points by doing that. He's fairly far in front in the championship. Robbo needs everything they possibly can. So this is great news for Robbo. But soon, it's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. It never is, of course. But yeah, he's got a little way to go. Rexty also into the pit lane retiring. So that's 2 retirements. Both in the pit lane, and no safety car will be deployed. Lap 10 out of 12, no safety car will be deployed anyway. It's way too late for that, so it's going to be pure DRS setup and slipstream all the way to the end. That's Gilly making a move over Waldo, but actually there's a big lag spike, and Waldo is going to drop back because of lag. Who will get the DRS? No one will get the DRS, so that is going to leave him vulnerable to JJ. JJ, he is going to send it to the inside. Oh, he's going to completely miss it, and that will be the McLaren through, and here comes Mikash to take the position off him. How about that, he says. He's got that move, and that is a valuable point all of a sudden gone from JJ. What a shame right there for him. He might be able to get it back, but that was a brilliant opportunity spotted by Mikash. Waldo, I don't know what's going on, but Gilly's now been released, and he's looking pretty quick in that car right now. Back with these guys. Pursuit is very close to the back of FICO. Of course, FICO has that DRS, so he'll be able to push pretty hard, but Pursuit, he's very close to that Mercedes, like dangerously close. Even if FICO tries to go for a move on Robbo, Pursuit's going to be there if he can maintain that gap. A bit of a loss of traction, but nothing to really worry about for FICO there. Of course, he's having to use everything that he possibly can on the battery, which is never easy, but it is what it is. It's what he's got to deal with for now. All these cars running out of energy, except from Robbo. It seems he doesn't have a flashing light on the back of his car, so it seems like he does have some sort of advantage. Regardless, is it going to be enough to fight off the DRS train on the final lap of this race? That's Gilly leading the pack for the other train, of course. Waldo in P7, Mikash and JJ following closely behind. No one seems to be able to make an overtake just yet, although Mikash is actually very close to the back of Waldo. Maybe he'll consider something. We're going to focus on these guys though. Robbo leads the lap on the final lap. Is he going to be able to hold on to this? FICO is going to push with everything they possibly can. They've got one more lap to get this done. We begin into turn 1. He has to secure a good exit here and absolutely spam the ERS, but I'm sure Robbo is going to be doing exactly the same thing. I don't think he's going to have an answer on this straight. There you go. There's the flashing light on that Alpine. It's now equal. It could definitely switch up very, very quickly. Going into the middle sector, this is where FICO could be strong. It's where Pursuit was definitely very strong. He was able to catch up to that Mercedes pretty nicely earlier on and really threaten him. It's just about who makes a mistake, of course. That is what we're going to be looking for. Right now, it doesn't seem to be like anybody's making any mistakes, and it's probably going to be decided as it is. Robbo has got one more chance to be overtaken. I say chance, he's got one more moment that he needs to defend from, and then he'll be good to go. Will FICO be able to get an advantage? He's right there. No ERS. DRS is available. I don't think it's going to be a problem for him. Robbo comes around the final corner, and he's going to win the sprint race in Brazil. Absolutely perfect. Brilliant, brilliant driving for him there. Awesome stuff. FICO P2, Bassoon in P3. He'll recover. Well, he will hold on to that podium. I'm sure he won't be too disappointed. He's going to be pretty annoyed at himself, though. Well, he's still got the main race to go. Dave Raptors, Grajak, Waldo in P6. Then we got Mikash, who actually jumped Gilly. They jumped Gilly in the end. That's absolutely incredible. I don't know what happened, because JJ also went off, so I don't know if there was maybe a crash, but yeah, that's a bit of a switch up. Mikash and Waldo going ahead of Gilly, and JJ dropping behind Larlock. A very, very hectic end to the race for the guys at the back. Unfortunately, we don't quite get to see it, so I'll have to check in on it later on, but driver of the day to Robbo, very well deserved. We're going to quickly look at the results. That is Robbo taking the win. FICO in P2. Then we have Bassoon in P3. Dave Raptors, Grajak, Waldo, Mikash, Gilly, Larlock, JJ, Eager Pro, and then retiring was Rexty and Nifojan. Just going to quickly look at the race director. We won't be able to see it. We'll see you in a minute for the main race. Ready? Hold! Go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? We're finally away. There you go. Robbo gets away all right, but no, here comes FICO to the inside line. This could be side by side into turn one, and Dave Raptors to the inside. Absolutely incredible. FICO's gonna try and come back, but it's no match. Dave Raptors is gonna take the lead in the Grand Prix. Side by side with Walter and Grajak. Walter is the inside line, but will he be able to get the run into the next corner? He will not. That is Bassoon dropping down the order after that one. Absolutely hectic, as that's actually Grajak losing the position to Waldo. Goes off the circuit. He's surely going to have to slide behind, but no. Still tries to find a way through to the inside line. Side by side between the cars up in front. I think, no. He makes a mistake. He makes a mistake, and Grajak's going to try and sweep around there on the outside. Now to the inside. Will Bassoon go to risk it? No, doesn't need to risk it, but guess who will risk it? Mikash. Mikash is going to try and challenge the AlphaTauri. He's really going to try and hold it on turn 11. He will not be able to get that done. He's going to now be vulnerable to Gilly, as that is a yellow with JJ, unfortunately, and Eager Pro also having issues. Gilly's going to try and look for a move. We're still going to look up ahead a little bit, as that's actually Dave Raptors breaking away. A phenomenal job from him. Robbo can't find a way through. Other drivers side by side. There's a little bit of contact, it seems, with the McLaren of Rexty, was that? And yes, the car behind, I think there's an issue. Rexty goes off the circuit as he has a big moment. He's going to lose out big time. That is a heck of a shame. But what a hectic opening lap right there that we have just seen. I'm going to quickly get the data up on the screen just to see. That is the soft tyres, as I expected. Dave Raptors making most of it, as that is FICO losing the car. What a shame. just taps the rear of the car into the wall. There's also big problems. Oh, what the hell was that? Rexty completely cuts the corner and makes big contact with Iga Pro. There's not going to be a safety car, but that is a very interesting situation. I don't know if that's lag or if that is just an actual crash, but that happened. We're going to have to look at it a little bit later on. I do apologise. Dave Raptors leads the way. Robbo sitting in P2 now has a slight gap between him and the car behind. Grosjean's still looking for DRS if possible. He's got that medium tyre to try and have the advantage, but Robbo knows what he's got to do. If he uses the ERS now, he'll prevent anybody from catching up anytime soon, and he'll be good to go. That is Little Waldo right behind his good friend Grosjean. He's also got Pursuit very close behind. He's on the hard tyre, so he's the next hard tyre runner. In theory, net P2, but I mean, Dave Raptors, he's going to be pitting surely very early on and going all the way to the end on the hards, unless he's going to try and do a double medium. That is a kind of F1.5 style strategy. I don't know if it would really work in this situation today. Gilly, FICO going to try and get a bit of a recovery run on. He didn't get damage from that spin. Maybe a little bit of confidence and pride, but other than that, he is absolutely good to go. And regarding that, he'll be trying to push for an overtake, I'm sure, using a bit of ERS on the exit, but not going to be in a position to push right now. Of course, Gilly's going to get the DRS in front as well, so loving life he is. He can't push at all. He's just having to sit behind and wait unless he can secure a good exit. I don't think he will. That is going to be that for him. No, he's going to push on the ERS. He's definitely going to try and challenge for a move already. He's gone way too far to back out now. He's going to send it to the inside of the Ferrari. There's almost a wheel bang. There is a wheel bang. Holds on to the car just about. Going to lose out big time. Mikash will catch up a little bit from that one. Not enough to really be a threat, but that was a good effort there from FICO. Gilly did nothing wrong. He holds on and he maintains that position. But he does, unfortunately, lose out a bit of time to Nifojan, and he might actually lose any chance of DRS. I don't know if he actually got it on that last lap, in fact. I think he might have just about missed out, which is why FICO was able to catch up so much. Cars in front, we've got a big train forming. Grosjean leads the way of this one, and Waldo in P2, both on the medium tyres. Then you have Pursuit, Nifojan, all on the hard tyres. So they're kind of trying to make overtakes, but they can't do it very easily. However, Bassoon is going to try and prove us wrong as he goes to the inside line with a fakie to the outside. There's contact on the wheels, only a wheel bang, so close to a big incident. No way! Bassoon is round. Bassoon is round. What a shame. What a shame on the exit. Loses out big time. He's going to lose it to the Red Bull behind as well, and it's going to be a recovery drive from now on. Down to P10, still in the points, but that is absolutely heartbreaking for him. Rexley having more issues himself as well. Dave Raptors and Robber are loving this as they only break away from the pack behind. Grosjean is doing his best. He's actually managed to drop Little Waldo, so that's good news for him. But Waldo is going to be under big pressure from Nifojan behind if he's not careful. Doing enough to just try and push for that DRS, but will he be able to hold it as we get through turn 11, or is he going to lose out a little bit? No, he will hold it, so he's going to get that DRS, so Nifojan is going to have a pretty hard time at making an overtake. I don't think he's really going to have a chance at getting anything done. We'll have a look and see. He's got no ERS to use, so that is going to be it for him. So that will be that. Okay. Interestingly, sorry for a minute, that was almost an overtaking opportunity for Nifojan. Is he going to still have a look for it on the DRS? He will try and push for it on the straight. He goes to the outside line, as that is Waldo going defensive. He'll hold on for now though. Brilliant effort from him. Yeah, what I wanted to quickly look at is, I do apologise we're not looking at these battles here, but all of a sudden, Dave Raptors has lost a lot of time to Robbo, but Robbo managed to catch a lot of time from Mr. Grosjean. So either Robbo has lagged forward, or coincidentally, Dave Raptors and Mr. Grosjean have made a mistake. And that wouldn't be the case because Waldo would have had to make a mistake as well, because otherwise he would be a lot closer. So Robbo must have just lagged then. Something's happened for Robbo to catch up all of a sudden, but that is interesting for that to happen. Very, very strange, but it is what it is. Nifojan is going to finally make that move work. I say work. Waldo could come back. He could very easily come back, and he might give it a shot here. DRS is going to be available for him, as that's a big mistake on exit for Nifojan. Does he have the straight line speed to back it up? He does get DRS on the car ahead as well, so he will be able to hold on nicely. However, FICO and Gilly will switch up. Gilly's not going to fight him hard at all. He's going to let him go. Maybe try and catch up to little Waldo and make some progress on the medium tyre runners while they can, or before it gets to the switchover point, because you want to get that overtake done. You don't want to be sat behind a medium tyre runner. That's something that we're going to be looking at within the next few laps, of course. Lots of strategies completely mixed up today, which is going to make it very interesting. Now, what we need to watch out for is when will Dave Raptors pit, and if that's the case where he pits, will we see Robbo be going for this long as well? Right now, we could see Robbo go to lap 30 on a set of hard tyres and then pit for softs, but I think he's going to stay ahead for now. He's actually going to go for the overtake on his teammate. Robbo makes that move into the lead, and Dave Raptors, his stint on in P1 has now ended. Chances of him making that move back is pretty slim because of the grip disadvantage he will have, of course, and of course their teammates, so they're probably not going to fight each other hard at all. Nifojan and Waldo, they're kind of equal in gap. I say that, I'm immediately proved wrong by the time we get to the end of that straight. FICO doing his absolute best to catch up to the cars ahead. 1.5 second is the gap. Watch how that changes. If it changes, maybe we can have a bit of a bigger battle on our hands. That is Lalek and JJ switching as Lalek makes a mistake. Unfortunately, that's turn 5, and that is a virtual safety car. A virtual safety car is deployed. That's going to allow everybody to relax a bit. And for this guy, if the virtual safety car does still stay out, he's going to be going into the pit lane. Still, I can't decide whether he's going to be going for a double medium or a hard tyre all the way to the end. I'm not sure if the hards can make it all the way to the end. He's going to overtake Robbo to try and get everything he can advantage-wise, and it's definitely a viable option. So he's going to gain big time from this, even more than he has got already from the cars behind. He's going to gain a lot on his teammate. Hard tyres are fitted, so he's going to go all the way to the end. Is he going to come out in traffic, or is he going to be good to go? He's going to be good to go. Pursuit on 8-lap-old hard tyres. He's got a long way on that tyre compound, and they're nice and warm. So he's probably not really going to be threatening him anytime soon. He's not that far away, though. He's not that far away. He'll spend some time under the virtual safety car conditions to warm up those tyres, of course, and then he'll be good to just gun it. So he might have an advantage, but will he try and fight it? I think he will, because, of course, it's Robbo's rival in the championship. If he can fight Pursuit as hard as possible, that would be brilliant. And that is unfortunately Waldo getting a drive-through penalty after speeding under the virtual safety car. He loses momentum at the same time and is threatened by FICO as FICO spots the opportunity to take advantage of that. The switch over point for the medium tyre is pretty much roundabout now, if not coming up within the next few laps. So FICO is going to be absolutely loving this. He might even go into the pit lane already. He is going to go into the pit lane already, so he makes that move pretty easily. And yeah, that is it. Did Mikash get a drive-through penalty as well? He did get a drive-through penalty, so Mikash having to take a unscheduled pit stop. What a shame for both of those drivers. Such an epic race they've had this weekend so far. It's not going to work out right now. Robbo leads by 3.7 seconds. Mr. Grajak staying where he is on that medium tyre. He's got pressure from Nifo, but Nifo is a higher tier driver, so he doesn't really need to worry about him too much. He just needs to relax. Don't think about him. Use him as a utility, because higher tier drivers, they score different points, so you can just use them to your advantage. You can sit in a DRS train, maybe even allow somebody to try and push the car ahead and fight them hard. Would they fight them hard as a higher tier driver? You're probably not going to be making that your first priority, but it's still a possibility. It depends, of course. JJ into the pit lane for a fresh set of medium tyres already, so he's not got a drive through. He's just going into the pit lane. Don't know if he had damage, but regardless, he's made that stop, and that's his destiny for the time being. 10 laps on those tyres, lap 11 out of 36 for Robbo, as he still leads the way. Nifojan is going to probably have a look at some point on Grosjean. They still have a little bit of time left until they can find a switchover point on that medium and hard tyre run. But he's saved a lot of ERS to get this move to work, and he's going to make it work. Just about. No, he isn't. Here comes Grosjean on the exit. That was absolutely epic from him. He's really going to try and hold it as best as he can, but no, Nifojan, once again, he was saving all that energy before he manages to use the rest of it to secure that move into turn 6. And that is absolutely perfect from him. So very, very good job. Nifo makes that move stick, and now he's going to try his best to just break away and have a minimal impact on this race. That being said, Grosjean is going to do enough to hold on to DRS range, which will help him not only catch up to Robbo potentially, but escape from FICO and minimize the damage on a set of medium tyres that are getting pretty slow at the moment. They still got a long way to go actually, so maybe they'll switch over points on lap 12, because you can go to about lap 16, 17, 18 on a set of medium tyres, maybe even longer if you actually wanted, but I wouldn't recommend it honestly. You're probably not going to want to push too much further than that. Doing a very good job, everyone on track. It's a long race to go. Everybody's kind of spreading out a little bit now. Something that isn't spreading out is the gap between Dave Raptors and Pursoon. Dave Raptors is very, very close now within DRS range. As you can see, he squirms over the exit curb at turn 4, really pushing with everything he can. He knows that he needs to try and help his teammate by fighting Pursoon. Even though Pursoon isn't actually anywhere near anybody, any time loss to Pursoon is beneficial to Robbo, of course. So, yeah, what a shame for Pursoon to be in this situation, but it's happened. And Dave Raptors has an opportunity. He still needs to push a bit harder if he wants to get that DRS. He's pushing with everything he can. That's a yellow for Gilly, unfortunately. Gilly is going to lose out big time. What a shame. What a shame. Oh, no, no, no. Did Gilly get damage? I want to check. That is Dave Raptors getting DRS, but did Gilly get damage? He didn't. He's going to stay out, but he just drops down a little bit. What a shame there for Gilly. It's going to be what it is, and it's also going to promote Pursoon back to P5, so he is on the recovery. 6 seconds between him and FICO in front. Let's see how that gap changes, if at all. No ERS in the car of Pursoon, as you can see that flashing light on the back, whereas Dave Raptors, he seems like he's good to go right now, and he got that DRS crucially, which makes it a lot more comfortable for him. Grosjean still holds on to DRS of Nifojan, so he maintains that gap just about. FICO's managed to bring it down about 2/10 within the last few laps, so he is definitely making progress, maybe even a little bit more than 2/10, but he just needs a little bit more to get that DRS, otherwise it's not going to be possible. 10.1 is the fastest lap set by JJ on lap 13 out of 36. He's made his recent pit stop. The other guy's not yet to do so. He still might have an opportunity to go for a fastest lap though. Mr. Grosjean into the pit lane. He's had enough on this tyre. He wants to go in now. That's a fairly early pit stop, so he's going to go longer on that on that hard tyre, I should say. So yeah, not a bad idea for Grosjean to try and get an undercut, but is it really a strategy? I don't know. Wardo actually follows him as well. These guys are going to be in clean air, so they will be able to get a bit of an advantage. Grosjean right now is racing FICO. That's who he's racing right now. So he's got a bit of work to do if he wants to hold on. The gap wasn't that big, and he should be able to gain a little bit here. Their tyres are going to be more or less equal while he warms up his tyres compared to FICO's warm, but 13 lap old hard tyres. He's going to be faster later on in this race, of course, as he will be able to go on to that medium tyre to finish this race off. So will the top 4 as of now. But yeah, we'll see. Dave Raptors, did he get DRS once again off of Bassoon? He did get DRS. That is lovely to see for him. Horrible news for Bassoon. He's still holding on though, and he actually managed to recover a bit of energy. Doesn't seem to be really losing any at the moment. There was about a 9/10 gap that split these two at the beginning of the straight, but on the exit of the straight, in the very end, that is a 6/10 gap, and he's going to catch a little bit more into turn 4. So a 4/10 gap between Bassoon and Dave Raptors. That is an extreme advantage, and it doesn't really look like he's pushing that hard at the moment. So yeah, perfect news for him. Right now, he's just making sure that he lets Bassoon push. That's Robbo round! Robbo's round! I do not believe it! He spins! FICO goes through! And he's going to lead for the EU drivers! No, no, no! Robbo had such an advantage. He's lost concentration. He's lost the car. He's lost the lead and the gap. FICO is loving this. I think Robbo's going to hold on to DRS just about, so that's something sweet out of this. But no, what a shame. What a shame. Uses all the energy he can to make sure he secures that DRS, because this is crucial for his championship. But Bassoon now is only in P4. Absolutely incredible. Dave Raptors has got to get a move on and help his teammate out sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's not going to look ideal, of course. FICO now leading for the EU drivers. Nifojan leads by quite a margin. He is a higher tier driver, so it doesn't really concern him at the moment. Dave Raptors, though, he's really got to try and do something. Robbo's in a bit of trouble at this stage. He still should have a nice advantage, but only 4.7 seconds is the gap now. Both Bassoon and Robbo have had some sort of spin, which does make them some sort or somewhat on equal playing fields, although Bassoon's spin seemed a little bit more severe than Robbo's. So a very good job for Robbo to avoid any excessive damage to his race, but still it's not ideal, of course. He does hold on to that DRS, whereas Bassoon, on the other hand, doesn't have the DRS. And it's only a help that the person that does have DRS on Bassoon is Robbo's teammate. Will Robbo want to push for a move? Not right now. He's going to still sit behind, but I am intrigued to see if he will have a look at the end of turn 4. That is something to question sooner rather than later, of course, because the pit stops are going to be on their way. He's spamming that ERS to try and make a move work. He realizes that he's not going to have a chance because FICO is also using that ERS. FICO, if he can manage this and get into the lead for the pit stops, he's going to be in a very, very good position. Very, very good. It's so superior if you can lead into the pit stop phase of the race, especially around a circuit like this. If you can break away from a DRS train, that'll be even better for him, of course. Dave Raptors is still going to be leading this race. He's going to be the net race leader, and of course with FICO, Robbo, Bassoon all having issues, and Nifojan starting at the back of the grid, he'll have a nice margin or a nice gap to the cars in front. If he wants to try and win this race himself, he does need to make sure that he gets past sooner rather than later and doesn't spend any unnecessary time in dirty air. I'm not saying that Bassoon's slow, because he's definitely not slow, but he's definitely going to be slower than Dave Raptors on this tyre. Robbo goes for the move. He attempts the move on FICO. He's not able to get it just about yet. He will have a second opportunity, however. As we go down to turn 4, FICO is going to recognise it. He's going to use all the energy he can, but no, Robbo's still going to go for it to the inside. He doesn't go for it in the end. A little bit spooked. Very, 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 very good defending there from FICO. Holds on just about. Well done to him. A very, very good effort. Robbo couldn't make his mind up where he wanted to make that move. Dave Raptors actually, in the meantime, also got past Bassoon. So he's doing everything that he needs to do. That's brilliant for him. But in the meantime, FICO and Robbo, they fought each other fairly hard there and actually lost a bit of time. So that's only going to help Dave Raptors and Bassoon. That was a yellow. I don't know who it was for. It seems like it's Eagle, actually, as he goes into the pit lane maybe to get a New front wing? No, he's going to retire from the session in the pit lane. So that is going to be it for him. Fico's made a mistake. I don't believe it. We go off the camera just for a moment and he's going to lose it all down to P6. He's absolutely heartbreaking, trying to get the traction back down. He doesn't believe what has just happened. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Fico goes into the pit lane and he's going to have to think of a bit of a different strategy right here. Losing a big advantage. He's actually retired. He's given up. He's given up. With everything still to play for, he's given up, and that's only going to help Pursoon. You would say it's only going to help Robbo, but Pursoon, that's now an extra position that he doesn't need to worry about getting. Yes, sure, Robbo will be promoted up easily, but that's not the question for Robbo. Robbo needs as many cars in between himself and that AlphaTauri as possible. And right now, it's only one car, which is heartbreaking for the Alpine driver. But it's very, very good news for Pursoon. So a great recovery as he still just stays in this race after that spin momentarily earlier on. That's how that one has gone. Very, very crazy stuff right now. Nothing we can do about it. Something that can be possibly done within the next few laps is Pursoon having a look at challenging Dave Raptors. I don't think he's going to be making an overtake, but he's definitely putting him under pressure. Robbo's only got 2.5 seconds more or less to Dave Raptors, so he's lost a lot of time by battling, and of course Dave Raptors is a lot faster on that tyre. He's not going to be very quick later on in this race, but he is very quick. I think Robbo's going to have to make a pit stop, because if he gets into DRS range of Dave Raptors, or if Dave Raptors gets into DRS range of Robbo, I should say, then he's going to drag Pursoon along with him. I mean, he's dragging him along with him already anyway. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pit stop territory for at least one of these drivers. Who's going to go for it first? We'll watch on board with Robbo to see where he goes. Does he hold it to the left to go into the pit lane? Or will he hold it right and stay out on track? He is going to stay out. Will Pursoon go for the alternate strategy? No, I don't think he will. Is he going to challenge Dave Raptors? He will not. He will have to, as Dave Raptors is going to go defensive. You can see what's going on here. He's going to fight Robbo now, or he's going to fight Pursoon now to try and slow down Pursoon as much as he possibly can and give Robbo any advantage he can. You can see it. He's lifting and coasting. It's working at the moment, but it's so infuriating for Pursoon. He's flashing on the energy. He's running out of energy to actually challenge for a move. He knows what he's got to do, but it's so difficult to get done. Dave Raptors has a lot more in the tank to be able to push, but he's choosing not to. And that makes it so impossible to make a move. He could have a look, but I think he really should have pitted on that last lap. He should have pitted on that last lap to avoid this happening. But he didn't. He's going to stay out, and he has unfortunately seen the problems from it, of course. Dave Raptors will manage to hold on. Robbo doesn't pit, and once again Pursoon stays out. Why is he staying out? I do not believe it. He's going to send it to the inside line this time around. Dave Raptors is going to try and hold on. Pursoon will get the DRS here. Will he be able to have the advantage though as we go down to the straight? No, a lot of DRS is available for the Alpine car. It's way more powerful than the DRS straight, and he will not have any kind of look at making that overtake, and they're only losing more time to Dave Raptors. Robbo is absolutely loving this. He's pushed about, I'm going to say about half a second, maybe even close to 7/10 away from this battling. So he's definitely having an advantage. It's not a mega advantage, but it's enough. I'm really surprised that Pursoon hasn't made a pit stop yet, and I think now Robbo is probably going to make a pit stop. Robbo's definitely going to call it. The question is, will Pursoon hold on as he loses the car? That's surely a sign to go into the pit lane. Robbo, he is not making the pit stop. Pursoon's got to go in. He's still staying out. Still Still staying out. I do not believe what I am seeing. I do not understand. Absolutely incredible stuff. Nifojan's staying out. He's got nothing to risk, of course, so maybe that's why, but I still don't understand this. I really don't. Pursoon has the disadvantage. He needs to try something different. He's not trying anything different, and he's suffering big time. Unfortunately, it's not looking ideal for him, of course. But it is what it is. He's having to sit and wait behind as of now. Alrighty. Robbo, here we go. Is he going into the pit lane? It's the moment of truth. Surely. He has to. There's no way he's not. Oh my god, he's not going into the pit lane. Am I being dumb? Pursoon is going to finally go into the pit lane. Am I being dumb? Do the mediums really only do 12 laps? I thought they did 16. I could have sworn they do 16 laps. I mean, that's now an undercut. Still on the cards for Pursoon as he goes 1 lap at least earlier. But it's much less of an undercut than he would have had before. Is Robbo going to try and go to lap 30 and then go for a set of soft tyres like Dave Raptors did, just in the other way around? That's a 3.2 second gap that Dave Raptors brought to Robbo and himself. So that is an extreme advantage that he has. Robbo can now either choose to make this pit stop nice and easily, or he could even decide to consider staying out because that gap was so big. He's got the ability to play around with the pit stop range. Once again, we're going to get another moment of truth. Is he going to go into the pit lane? He will follow on and have minimal damage. So he's going to have 1 lap fresher tyres and still lead this race. That is Robbo into the pit lane. Dave Raptors is going to lead the way by almost an entire pit stop. He'll be controlling this quite nicely. Gilly is going to stay out, and he will be taking that position over Robbo momentarily, which is very interesting. He hasn't made a pit stop yet, so he's still going a little bit longer. Maybe he's going to try and consider a soft tyre. I think he's probably trying to follow what the higher tier driver of Nifo does, because of course he's leading the race and he's pretty darn quick. That is Robbo getting in traffic from Grosjean there. Grosjean is racing for position, and he's definitely done all he can to try and hold on. A very, very good opportunity there for Grosjean, and he's made it work. He's got no energy though to be able to push. He doesn't have the grip advantage either. So once Robbo's tyres do get warmed up, he's going to be very, very happy. Robbo now, let's have a look. Surely, got to make the move as early as he possibly can. On that medium tyre, he's only going to be quicker. He's going to use all the energy he possibly can. And he realises that Grosjean doesn't have any energy to defend with. So he's only going to have one option, and that is going to be to settle behind. That's the fastest lap from Pursoon, as he gains about 1.5 seconds by making that earlier pit stop. But no more. No more. He didn't go for that much of a undercut. Of course, Grosjean, he was there to help Pursoon out a little bit. I'm not saying that he was helping him, because Grosjean was just genuinely fighting for race position, but it did definitely help Pursoon a little bit there. Both drivers right here with no energy, and neither does Pursoon, so everybody is using absolutely everything they possibly can. Grosjean going a little bit too aggressive over turn 8, and they do get themselves a track limit time penalty, unfortunately. That is Nifojan into the pit lane. I'm sure we can probably expect Gilly to follow on suit as well. I guess it's going to be on the medium tyre, unless he is really going to try a soft tyre from here. It could be possible, and it is going to be possible. Is Gilly going to go in, or is he going to wait out one more lap? He's going to wait out one more lap. I think that's actually wise from Gilly there. I think that's very wise. he is going to wait a little bit longer. There you go, Pursoon, he's going to challenge, and he's actually going to let Pursoon go. Okay, Grosjean didn't want to fight it. He realizes, all right, actually, there's no chance at me even holding on to that position. Right now, I'm securing a, well, I say a P5, actually probably a net P4, because he gets promoted over Nipojan, and Gilly hasn't pitted yet, so he's going to get a position over Gilly as well. So actually, in that situation, he's holding on to a very nice P4 at the moment. So by not pushing too hard, he is loving life very, very much so. If a safety car was to come out, Gilly would be absolutely going through the roof. He would love it, but I doubt that's going to happen. We're going to be going all the way to the end without a safety car. We did have a virtual safety car, of course, but you don't really save too much from that. He's staying out again, and Robbo is going to have to try and find his way past another car, which is only going to lose him more time. Gilly really does want to have peak performance on that soft tyre and maybe go for a fastest lap. Robbo, he has the DRS. Gilly has the trap position. What's going to be more beneficial? It seems like trap position. He's only just about started to flash on the energy as well. So that was a crucial moment there for Gilly and Robbo. Gilly had a little bit more energy to deploy. He used it perfectly. However, the grip advantage will be significant to Robbo. He is going to send it to the inside. The space is not available. Gilly will hold on. Is that a wasted opportunity or not? I don't know. On the traction, he'll be able to have another look, and he's going to once again send it, but only losing time by fighting in this way. Gilly's going to let him go. He can't afford to fight anymore. That's going to be a pit stop for Mr. Gilly. Of course it will be. And a very, very, very well played strategy there from Robbo, making that move early on, and he's got a lot of pace. He's got a massive amount of pace, and actually Pursoon gets DRS from that. He's going to get slungshot, and Gilly's going to go into the pit lane, so he's not even going to challenge him. That is such unfortunate timing there for Robbo, and that is very, very lucky for Pursoon to be able to grab there. That is absolutely incredible. DRS is available for Pursoon, as he's now going to be nice and close. 1 lap disadvantage to him, but 1 lap isn't really that significant in this situation. Now, Nipojan on that set of soft tyres, he's going to look to try and push in front of Dave Raptors, but Dave Raptors, he's got such a gap. Would he even bother trying to let Robbo go through, or is he going to just try and win this race fully? I think he might have to give it a shot. Gilly 17 seconds behind Mr. Grosjean. On that soft tyre, he is just going to push for a fastest lap, and that will probably be about it. Pursoon holding on to DRS here, so the race is definitely on. Will Robbo be able to have a bit of an advantage this race to gain a little bit in the championship, or will Pursoon be able to extend his lead? That is the question. We will find out within the next couple of laps. We're coming to the closing stages of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Not got long to decide how this one will go. DRS once again available, but the energy is not deployable for Pursoon. He's going to have to sit there and wait behind for now. Robbo, he can relax for the moment. Sat here waiting. Couple battles behind. We got Mikash and Lissawoldu that could come around at some point soon. Of course, JJ and Larlick, that's been going on for a while throughout this race, so they could definitely have a little bit of a battle at some point soon as well. So yeah, a couple going around at the moment. Nipojan, I think, should be able to catch up to Dave Raptors. His soft tyres are going to be pretty old, but not really too bad, of course. That 21 old tyres on the hards compared to relap old soft tyres. Sure, the softs do drop off quickly, but I don't think it'll be significant enough. Pursoon, very close to the back of that Alpine, but not close enough to challenge and overtake. It's close enough, though, to keep that pressure on. That's all he needs to do. He really needs to think about the bigger picture here, because we've not got that long to go, so he needs to really manage what the situation is looking like. Make sure that he recognises that, and plan a couple laps ahead, because if you just try and race here and now, then you're going to probably be at a disadvantage. Gilly does go for the fastest lap as expected, so a very good job from him. That is an extra point that is going to be definitely very valuable to Ferrari, of course. Soon very close, and also constructor-wise, he's trying to get into the battle, of course. With both Alpine drivers in the position that they are, it's going to be difficult to catch the blue cars, but AlphaTauri are definitely pushing their way towards Ferrari. Gilly trying his best with that fastest lap to minimize any damage to Ferrari, of course. Benjamin not racing today, which makes it impossible for them to gain on two drivers, because he's physically not there, of course, if you were wondering why that was the case. Bassoon, once again, as expected, not going for a move anytime yet. He's just going to wait a little bit longer and then probably challenge for something, of course. Dave Raptors and Nifojan could have a bit of a switch up at some point soon. JJ, unfortunately, makes a mistake, so that's going to be them round. And that will be the battle with him and Lalek over Little Waldo and Mikash also. That's come apart a little bit, a 2.7 second gap that split them two, so there's going to be no battles between those guys, and that will be that. Dave Raptors is going to be threatened by Nifojan at very, very short notice, very, very soon. He wants to have minimal impact in this race, of course. The question is, will Dave Raptors try and push to make sure that he can get this win on track? That is the real question, of course. Robbo and Bassoon had the advantage. He did catch up a lot. He was so close to the back of Robbo, but decided in the end he wasn't going to do anything about it. Here we go. Nifojan is going to have a look on Dave Raptors. Dave Raptors goes defensive to the inside line. Nifojan holds it slightly to the outside, tries to look for the switchback. Is it going to be available? No. He will have to sit behind for now. He can't wait too long because those soft tyres will overheat, of course, and then he'll be in big, big trouble. Couple battles bubbling up to this later stage of this race. We haven't got long to go. Nifojan is so close to the back of the Alpine. Once again, though, as a higher tier driver, you don't want to be risking too much, of course. He just wants to get that move done, and he has every advantage at this point. It's going to push the limits of the tyres towards the end, of course, though, because soft tyres don't last too long. The question is, can he keep it in a straight line? We'll have to wait and see. Dave Raptors, I think, what did he go? 8 laps on the soft tyres, so that will be where his limit was, of course. But here we go. Nifojan makes that move. Dave Raptors is going to try and fight it. He wants to stay in front. He does really want to hold that position. There's a mistake for Nifojan, and he does get back through with DRS. Dave Raptors holds on. That's absolutely incredible from him. Absolutely incredible. Dave Raptors just about will maintain that position. He doesn't care if Nefo's a higher tier driver. He really does want to hold on track. He really wants it. Bassoon, as we've seen so many times, has the advantages in the corners, just not on the straights at the moment. He's definitely planning for future laps, of course. He's waiting a little bit longer to try and go for it. At the moment, he'd only be losing 2 points to Robbo. 2 points, though, could be everything when we get to the last race of the season, of course. The battle is definitely on, and Robbo is doing a phenomenal job so far. He's done a very, very good job. Alpine have done a very good job. Nifojan is going to have another opportunity here. He's a little bit closer than he was before, but Dave Raptors, he's got a lot of energy to deploy, so he's able to defend quite nicely. That is going to be Nifojan staying behind for the time being. And there you go. Nifojan's going to get a second opportunity to turn 4. He will now challenge. He has the grip. He has the advantage. He has the DRS. It seems like he's got the straight line speed. The only advantage he does not have is the energy to the outside line, though. He should have everything in his hands. He's going to swoop around and make it work. Absolutely perfect from him. Oh, Dave Raptors is going to try and come back. He had the energy to turn 6 to threaten a move, but it wasn't enough. He wanted to push at turn 8, but lost the car on the rear. Those tyres are so dead, you're never going to have a chance at making a move into turn 8. And you can now see those tyres, those soft tyres, are very hot. And onto the final lap of the race, it could definitely switch up. We haven't got long. We've got one more lap to go at the end of this one, and that will be the Brazilian Grand Prix decided. Lots going on at the moment. This is for the championship, and the other battle is for the race lead, of course. Will Dave Raptors be able to go for a move on Nipperjan? I don't quite know. But for soon, he's definitely going to be using everything on this last lap to go for a move on Robbo. Robbo pushing everything he can, but Pursoon is catching up just a little bit. He's got one final major DRS straight to catch up, but he makes a mistake. I do not believe it. He makes a mistake and he's going to lose that big time. Oh, what a shame. He'll catch up a little bit. Both drivers are absolutely nothing on the batteries. It's going to be all the way down to the final straight to decide who wins this race. Pursoon has the advantage in that final sector, and it's going to be DRS to Pursoon. The question is, will that DRS be enough for him to be able to swoop in and take that position off of the Alpine driver? I don't quite know. I do not quite know at all. It's going to be very, very close indeed. Nipperjan is going to come around the final couple of corners and he'll be crowned the winner. We'll quickly look on board with him. Nipperjan is going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Dave Raptors is going to get it on the EU drivers, but no, he's slowing down, I think, to try and let Robbo to get through. Here we go. Dave Raptors is there. Here goes Robbo. He's going to get it. He's going to get it, and that is absolutely perfect. Dave Raptors is going to secure a P1 for Robbo. He's going to sacrifice his first ever win for the championship, and Robbo is going to be so thankful for him right there. Absolutely crucial points for the championship, and that is a perfect race from the Alpine team. After a very, very crazy scenario, they've done an amazing job. Dave Raptors letting Robbo go to perfection, 2/10 splitting, of course, the car in front and behind him. So that's now 4-point advantage over Dave Raptors and a 6-point advantage over Pursoon Robbo has. That is big points that he's able to gain there. Absolutely crazy. Nipperjan wins overall. He definitely deserves a shout out. It was not an easy race at all. Really tried a different strategy. He made it work, and he does deserve some recognition. There you go, driver of the day. And the top step of the podium overall, of course. Overall, though, or for the EU drivers, I should say, Robbo has got that top step. He's taken a double win this weekend in Brazil. Really. Alrighty, let's have a quick look at the results. Nipperjan takes the win. Robbo in P2, Dave Raptors, Pursoon, Mr. Grishak, Gilly, Mikash, Litterwaldu, Larlock, and JJ finishing off the order. Then we've got DNFing, FICO, Egapro, and Rexty. We're going to skim through the race director just in case if we need to a little bit later on. And of course the pit stops as well. That is all good to go. I'm going to go through one more skim on the results, and then that will be about that, I believe. There we go. Thank you very much. We'll be back for the post-race interviews. We'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the post-race interviews of the Brazilian Grand Prix. That was a pretty crazy one in the end. Crucial for the championship, of course. We start the interviews with Robbo. Robbo, that was a double win today. Are you very, very happy with that one or just happy?
Yeah, of course. I think definitely very, very happy. The quali wasn't, for us, it didn't have the best outlook, race-wise and points-wise with, Pursune's pace and Fico's pace. They were both very fast in quali, but off the sprint start, I was able to get Fico. That was a good move. And then Pursuit made a mistake, which, cost him, me and Fico. So that worked out very well for the sprint. And then the race was kind of crazy. Especially when I sort of had a half spin. I was like, oh, sugar. But we were able to keep that. And then a few people defended quite hard once I pitted onto mediums, which was quite interesting considering that wasn't really their race, but of course they're able to do that, which it brought Pursuit back to me, but I was able to keep a gap. I had to fuel save a bit at the end, and then Dave was pretty perfect on the finish line, so yeah, solid points, perfect for me.
Yeah, awesome. That's a 8-point advantage, I think, overall in the weekend for you over your rival. So you close up a little bit, and you extend quite nicely constructor-wise. So really well done. A great job. Australia, do you like that circuit?
I think it's one of those tracks I don't really like nor dislike. There are some good parts to it, and obviously tricky parts. It'll be good to see what the pace is like. Obviously, I have to put some practice in, but yeah, it could be a good race.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Pixel perfect finish.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Brilliant job.
Cheers.
We move on to Dave Raptors. Dave, you must have Teammate of the Year award or something. That was first victory on the horizon, but you've done what you should have done, I guess. Can you take us through that one?
Yeah, I mean, even from the start of the racing, before we started, we had a discussion. I was like, we got to prioritise the championship for Robbo. So I was like, if we're in that position, I give the position back. So in the end, we did that, and I think that was the right decision. But overall, the weekend, my weekend, I think the strategy helped me so much in the race with that soft tyre start. They overheated a little bit, but they were all right. And then the hard tyres were just very solid throughout, and I had some decent pace all the way through, compared to the sprint in qualifying, which I felt like I was lacking a little bit. But of course, the 210, that was really scary at the end. I was so nervous coming into it because I knew I was going to do it, and then we just got it in and got Robbo the win, which is lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect split down the middle, so you did a very good job. But yeah, that is absolutely incredible and a brilliant strategy pulled off. Once again, the Alpine's going for the softs. You never think it's going to work, but it did this time. Australia, do you like that circuit? Do you think you'll be there to try and help your teammate even more?
I think if you do some practice and you get the flow of the track, I think it's quite a nice track for me. I've got to watch out on the last corner though, because you can lose traction. But other than that, I think I can be up there and fighting once again, at the top. Hopefully, maybe get a win. Yeah, awesome. I hope you do get one soon. It'd be great to see. Yeah. Really well done today. And one last question: how would you describe your race in 3 words? Alpine master plan. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great job today. Cheers. And we move on to Gilly. Gilly, that was an interesting strategy. Do you think it was the best idea, or were you just trying to go for glory?
Well, I thought I'm only going to lose one position. I think that was to Grajak. If I did the softs, and I had a new set of softs from Quali, because I retired early, as Thingy likes me doing, in Quali. I can't remember, I've already forgotten. Yeah, so I knew I was only going to lose one position, so I thought I'd go for glory and hope there's a safety car. Got new softs.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, you gained 1 point with the fastest lap, of course. You maybe did lose a point because you obviously lost that position. Are you still happy with that decision? Do you think that was the best one you could have tried?
Yeah, with my spin, I don't think I'd have been able to be up with Grajak anyway, because even if I did a normal strategy, I don't think I would have quite done it.
Right.
But
okay.
JJ did steal the fastest lap from me, I think.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. I mean, it was a good effort at least. Australia, do you like that circuit? Do you think you can do well there?
If there's safety cars. No, if there's no safety cars.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, hopefully for your sake we do get some. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I spun round.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to Waldo. That was a heck of a race. Some very nice battles, especially on the opening lap of the main race. That was side by side with your teammate. Can you take us through that one?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I mean, the start was amazing. Then I just tried to cut on the inside and then through the center S only wheel to wheel, and afterwards it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a very eventful race. So really, really well done. I mean, that was a big battle. Was it the sprint race? I think there was a big train. You managed to get the position over everybody else. Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, I actually don't know what happened. I also had a crazy start, and then I just tried to keep on Grajak, and yeah, it went my way.
Fair enough. I mean, really well done. That's all I can really say. Australia, do you think you can carry the good momentum, maybe even improve up the order further?
Yeah, I hope so. Australia really like the track, especially with the setup. It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
I hope I can catch some people up there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I raced you there in the open lobbies, and you were pretty good, so well done. Hopefully we can see you do well there. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Awesome starts and terrifying.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great job. And we move on to Grajak. Pretty solid, to be honest. You just kind of got onto your own position and then just drove to the end. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, it was a pretty good race at the start. The sprint race was also good. The start of the sprint race, I started 8th, and then I got into, I think, 5th place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the main race, I also had a good start. I think I was 4th at the moment, or 1st, no clue. And then I tried to keep up with the other guys, but I didn't have the pace.
Fair enough. Do you think the medium-hard strategy was the best one to go for? Or did you try and or consider maybe the other way round?
I think it's the better strategy would be hard soft. I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Do you think you would have done better if you had that, or do you think you still would have been good to stick with your strategy that you used today?
Yeah, I think I would have better done with this strategy.
Fair enough. I mean, really well done today. Australia next up. Do you like that circuit?
Yeah, I enjoy the circuit, but my pace is bad. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, hopefully an enjoyment of the circuit is going to be more beneficial to you. But really well done today. Great job. And one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Well done today. Brilliant job. And we move on to Nifo Jan. Nifo, that was not as easy as it seems. The gap, obviously, at the very end was extended quite nicely. But yeah, that was quite a tough race, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I already knew. Like, I wasn't used to the dry yet because I couldn't practice today, and then I came in Like my first lap was basically the quali practice. I was like, this is gonna take some getting used to because you can brake a bit harder and the trail brake is a bit different. But so yeah, the sprint I just I pulled away from like the main group, and then the top group just DRS trained each other, and I knew from the previous race that it's impossible to catch up. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna push my balls off basically, and if I spin, I spin. Because I was gonna retire at the end anyway, and if I catch them up, they catch them up, and then I spun. I just didn't have the grip, so I was like, all right, I'll just retire. It doesn't matter that much. So yeah, and then we go into the race. It was a pretty hectic start. Yeah, I mean, people going around left, right, and center, and then we'll skip later on the race on P1 because Robbo had a half spin, and then couldn't catch up again. So I was just basically cruising, and I look at the pit strategy and I see mediums used, which is a glitch I had before, where you get the mediums from the sprint race, you don't get new mediums. So I was like, well, this is great because now you're basically forced to go onto the soft tire. So yeah, I just extended the gap, and luckily they followed me for quite a bit before going in. I was like, wow, why are they still following me? Like I would have been like NEP 19 and they've been like 22 or something. I was like, well, that's good for me. So yeah, I pitted onto the softs. I already knew they were going to overheat because of the quali, and then just try to catch up as much as I can while overheating, locking up, and but I did have more grip. And when I caught him up, my softs were a bit dead and overheating as well. So I was like, oh, this is going to be hard. But I knew his hearts were very dead as well. So he had some nice battling. He sent me to the shop once, which I won't forgive him for. Absolutely annihilated me, embarrassed me. But yeah, I still got him in the end, pulled away. And then I thought, I was like, well, okay, this is a good win, I guess. And then I saw him pull away, thought he lost fuel. But he was being a good teammate, I guess.
Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. It was a very good race from you. As soon as you made that move on Dave Raptors, we saw your rear end go slightly sideways. So we definitely saw those pretty hot soft tyres, but really well done, very well managed, and a brilliant strategy pulled off from you. So well done. Australia, wet or dry? What do you want at Australia? What do you think is best for you?
Well, I would say to bridge the gap, the skill gap, I would say wet. But because Ziggy's there, let's please have it dry, so I can maybe do something with the setup and do some things there. And I think maybe I'll have a chance, but historically speaking, I'm not very good at that track, so we'll see.
Fair enough. I mean, 2023 weather, it seems to be pretty wet this season. It's pretty unfortunate, honestly. But yeah, maybe it can change. We're getting further into the summer, or closer to the summer. So I'm sure you'll be able to get what you want soon. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Tire's too hot.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great job.
Thank you.
And that's been it for the post-race interviews. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We will see you next weekend for the Australian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the season. We will see you on Tuesday for some open lobbies. Thank you very much, and have a great evening. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.